You guys ever had that one friend that they're just like an excellent singer, excellent actor, excellent comedian, and they know it? Like they take every opportunity to let the world shine down on them, and sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes you're like, wow, go you. That's great. I'm so glad that you can make the world revolve around you right now. And sometimes it's like, wow, why are you making the world revolve around you right now? Like, this is annoying. I can't even start with that. Well, the late Maslow once said that he that is good with the hammer tends to think everything is a nail. And I have to agree with that. And I've seen it used in both ways, where I've seen it used where it's, like I said, it's annoying. It's annoying that they're taking it. I've seen it used where it's like, I'm so glad that you can do this right now. Like you have the one friend that he's the center of attention, and we're outside and he thinks the world is a stage and he just wants to start singing, and everyone starts looking at him and you're like, this is great. I'm so glad that you can do this right now. And then I'm so glad that the world is revolving around you. And then I've also seen it used in like a positive way, where you have the friend who's just like the comedian, and he can bring up any mood. You have like, if they can feel when the vibe is down in a group, they can feel when, hey, this joke would be perfect right now. And it works in their favor and it benefits everyone because it brings up the entire mood of the conversation. And for me, I personally have a friend, I don't want to drop names, but she's a great sweet talker, and she knows it. And I would go with her with any problem of mine if I need someone to just cheer me up, because she knows exactly what to say in the right time. But she's also the first person to try and get a free drink at a bar, or the first person to try and get a free appetizer, and she's just like the first person to just try and get stuff free in their favor. And that can get annoying sometimes. And so like, I've seen it used both positively and negatively. And so I actually have to agree with the great Maslow that he that is good with the hammer tends to think everything is a nail. Thank you.
All right, well, I thought you had a nice rhetorical question at the beginning to get our attention and a visualization to go with it. I thought that it was kind of fun that you had counterpoint visualizations also. So there are different ways that you're going to be looking at this. That you make a very solid transition to the topic, and you sort of agree with it. There's not really a preview and a structure. You've got basically a couple of examples that you're going to talk about. Unfortunately, both of them seem very familiar. They seem like the same thing that you had at the beginning. I do think that the second one had a little bit more detail to it that was distinct from what you were talking about in the first point, and so that was nice. I think, like I said, a very basic structural idea with the two examples. When you're speaking, your voice projects pretty well. I thought you had very solid pacing during the presentation. You're not lagging, you're not hesitating. For the most part, you move forward. You seem to know what it is that you're trying to say, and even in those spots where you don't always know what it is you're going to say, you sound like you are on your way to saying something important. And I think that that's a good habit to be in. Sometimes your gestures are a little bit limited because you have a tendency to hold that little quote in your fingers there right in front of you. Not quite chipmunk-like, but you've got it right there, and so you sometimes forget to be a little bit more engaged. I also thought that your audience contact is very solid with the center of the room, but you need to distribute it a little bit more. So it's like you've got the two rows that are right in front of you. You've got them nailed, but don't forget that there are people over there, there are people over here, and you don't really seem like you are engaging with everybody. So you got the right idea. Look at the audience, but try and include all of the audience when you're looking at them. I thought that you didn't have any obvious anxiety issues, anything that was problematic. And same thing that I've mentioned to several people before, when you get to the end and you just come back to the point that you're trying to make, even if everything hasn't been perfect, you've got a point and you come down and it sounds very solid when you're ending as a consequence. All right.